Hello YouTube family members, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Naomi Jonathan, who's here, and I'm really happy to be doing the sit-down vlog with you guys today. So in today's video, I want to do like a Q&A. I had recently posted on my community page that I wanted to do some Q&A with you guys, where I would answer some few questions. And I'd like to first of all give this disclaimer, right? I am not an immigration agent or recruiter, right? I'm just going to be answering these questions from my own wealth of experience thus far, okay? So make a video of me talking about them, the questions you have already like dropped into the comments in the previous video, yeah? So without further ado, let's get right in. I have this little phone here that I'm going to be using to like look at the questions, some of the questions here, okay? So the first one I have here says, hi, nice one. Is there a minimum amount required for one to have besides the stable income to be able to apply for my family to join me here? Secondly, do I need to secure a particular size of accommodation first for a family of 4 before I can apply for my family to join me here? Looking forward to your feedback. Thank you so much, Justice, for leaving these questions here, because I know a lot of us have so much questions pertaining to this, because in some of the countries you'd actually need like a proof of fund to like bring your family, yeah, which is basically right, because you're bringing a family to the country, right? They do not have any work or any job doing, so they would be depending on you as the main applicant, and so you would need an accommodation definitely where they are going to like rest and sleep when they come, when they arrive, right? But for the like proof of fund, for me personally, I did not need to like show proof of fund. What I saw from the website, I don't know if it has changed right now, but what it was that if you have like a means of income, like a stable means of income, then that's a good way. You can actually use your employment letter. That's one of the documents you would have to submit to show that you have a stable means of income where you get to like take care of your family. They do not want anyone like roaming about the streets, do you understand? So you should have like an accommodation already sorted out before your family comes to join you. You should have some amount of money in your account, even if it's not a huge amount, but you should have something in your account to show that you can take care of your family. For me personally, when my family came, I only had just one. When I started the application for my family to join me, I only had 1 month salary in my account when I started the process, and that was what I sent to them. Like I printed out the bank statement and everything, and my payslip, my employment letter, and everything that they requested on the website. I printed everything out, and I took everything all together and submitted it. And I don't see the reason why they would not approve it if everything is legit as you've submitted, right? So just make sure you do your own due diligence. That's basically what I would have to say. Do your own diligence. You do not want your family coming to join you and then you do not have something to like take care of them with, right? So that's basically that. I hope I've answered the question. Thank you so much once again. Okay, so this one says, hi, lovely content. As a single mother of 2 kids still in elementary school, how do I initiate bringing them to Japan? Thank you so much, Life. I hope I pronounced the name well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you so much for dropping the question, and I remember I responded to your question, but I'm still going to do that here because I know a lot of people would still have that question in their mind. Parents, right? If you are going to bring your children over here, you said they are elementary school students. Yes, of course you can bring your family here as long as you're already here. You can bring them immediately with you while coming to Japan. No, you'd have to come here first, because it's when you're here that you can process the dependent application and getting their COE for them to then join you here in Japan. Okay, so and one of the document they would definitely ask you of is a consent letter. You would have to write a consent letter, but because you're a single parent, you would also have to get a consent letter from from the 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 children's dad. Yeah, you'd have to get a consent letter. That's like one of the most important documents you need to get, as well as their birth certificate, to show that the other parent legally allowed you to bring the children to Japan with you. Okay, so yeah, you need to get those documents as well as well with the rest of the other documents. So definitely the answer is yes, you can bring your children to Japan, but that would be when you're already here. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much. Fat Show Hobby says, I'm also preparing for jet program. I have a wife and three beautiful kids. That's lovely. If I do get selected for the job, should I wait for 4 to 5 months and save some money in bank account, then apply for dependent visa for them? Will it get approved? Thank you so much for the question once again. Like I said, I'm not an immigration officer and I do not know if it will be approved or not. Let me say that first off. But I do not see a reason why it will not get approved as long as all the documents you submit are right. Like everything that you submit out what they requested for from the website. That's why I would always say please go through the website before submitting. And also one thing I realize is even when you get to the immigration office to submit the documents, they would cross-check the documents, and peradventure if there is something very important that they didn't see in the documents, hopefully you get to meet a good person. And I believe most Japanese people have met, they're actually good. So when you get to the immigration office, they're going to cross-check to see if you have all the documents that you need to submit. Yeah, and if everything is okay, or if not, they would request for that document and ask you to bring it to them so they can include that. I remember while I was submitting mine, there was a document I had included for both my husband and my daughter, and they had removed one of it because they told me one is okay, one is sufficient because it's like a joint application, and I didn't know that. But just to be enough in a good light, please make sure you double check, you put everything together, put them according to how they ask you to put them. Yeah, so just make sure everything is well organized, put in the envelope. Yeah, and then take it with the sealed envelope. I think they asked for sealed envelope or something like that. Yeah, so please just follow the requirement, just read out the outline from the website. And if while editing this video, if I hopefully I get to like go through the website, and hopefully I can just like screenshot it and put it on the screen so you can like go through it, but that's not sufficient enough. Please still go to the website and read through and make sure you have the accurate documents needed, required of you, and I'm sure by the grace of God you'll get approved. And to the aspect of you saving 4 to 5 months, for me personally, I didn't get to save up to that amount. Like I told you earlier, I only had 1 month's salary, and that was okay for me. My family and I were able to manage ourselves. We already had an accommodation, which was okay. They were not living on the street. We had food at home. Yeah, and we have things that we needed, the basic amenities that we needed. We have them. We had them. So it's just it depends on your family ability to like manage. If you're not able to manage, if you think waiting for 4 to 5 months to start up the application be, before your family get to come in, then it's okay. Yeah, I also had to like save up some money to like start up, pay like, okay, first off let me say this. Yeah, you starting up the application, it's not with um with the 4 months salary does not mean that you'll get your application approved immediately. It may take like 2 weeks, some people 2 weeks, some people 1 week, some people 4 months. And for me, I think it took me like about 5 months for it to get approved. So it depends actually. It depends actually. And for me, I would say, because there was also a friend of mine who became almost almost at the same time to Japan, and she also had a family back home in Nigeria. I also had my family back home in Nigeria, and she had applied earlier before me. I mean, I think about maybe a week or so, but she got approved in just 3 weeks, and the documents she used in applying were almost the same with mine. But the only thing I think may have delayed mine was because I had to move. I had to move from where I was to another location, another prefecture. So I feel like maybe that would have contributed to the delay. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that you having that, just have, okay, so let me put it this way: whatever your spirit leads you to. So because I'm just saying this from my personal experience, saying that I only had 1 month salary before I started the application, right? And one of the things that they need is you having a stable means of income. For a student, I do not know how it works, but I know that those who are under scholarship, most especially the government scholarship, they always get like stipend, which is totally enough. So you have to show the proof of the government scholarship stuff when you're applying for your dependents to come join you. And that's totally fine, because they know that there is money coming into your account. There's money that will be used to sustain your family, which is basically all right. Yeah, because your dependent is only able to work for just 28 hours per week if they get the opportunity to work. I think I've even answered one of the questions that someone had asked earlier about if a dependent is able to work when they arrive. Yeah, so I think I've answered that. And also, talking about dependents able to work, it might be a bit tricky for them if they do not have a bachelor's degree, but it doesn't mean that they won't get a job. But I would really advise that you start learning how to speak Japanese, because you learning how to speak Japanese will give you a higher chance to get a good job, because there are actually a lot of good jobs, but the fact that we are unable to speak Japanese would hinder or limit us from getting those jobs. So if you're able to speak Japanese, at least at most an N5 level, I'm sure that you will definitely get one for the dependents. But if you have a bachelor's degree, I mean, you can just look for an English teaching job or an assistant language teaching job. Basically, there are always advertisements about someone looking for a part-time, or like working in a school or something like that, a kaiwa and all of that. Okay, I hope that answered that question. Thank you so much. Just Bridge, she says, this video has helped. My husband has applied for a teaching job at a Christian private school in Tokyo. Will be the dependent, so I have been looking for information on how that goes. Thank you so much, and I'm really glad you found this really helpful. Thank you once again. Thank you for the information. That's from Peter Oluwatosi. He says, thank you for the information, really straight to the point. In order to fully prepare for the dependent application, who holds the original marriage certificate? Is it the main applicant in Japan or the spouse in Nigeria? Thank you. Martima, did your husband have to get a CTC of the original marriage certificate, or he used the ordinary photocopy for the visa application? We plan to use local government registry certificate. Thanks again, Mr. Peter Oluwatosin. Thank you so much for the question. So basically, the question, right, I was with the original marriage certificate. I brought the document with me. The only thing I forgot to bring was my daughter's birth certificate, the original one. I had left it home, at back home in Nigeria, but I had a copy of it on my phone. But the funny thing is that when I was trying to like get to apply for my daughter's entrance to nursery school, I was asked to bring the birth certificate's original one. So I had to like send a message across to my mom so that he can send it through DHL, and that was really expensive. So what I would say is that the person coming over here, like the main applicants, please ensure you take your original documents, the essential ones, or basically just take your original documents, because you may never know, they would ask you for it. It's not like they're going to take it from you, they just want to see that you have the original document. Basically, that was what happened to me. Yeah. and I had to spend a lot of money just to, it might not be a lot, but yeah, it was a lot for me. So I had to like spend that amount of money for just how many, just that paper. Yeah, it was really, I was really pained by that. So yeah. And for the marriage certificate for the dependent, you do not need um to do CECT. I don't know what that means basically, but you don't need to do that. You just need the marriage copy, because the main applicant had already taken the original document with him or her while doing the submission. They're not going to take it, they're just going to like see it, that's it, and give it back to you. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think that's basically all. I answering the question. Okay. Oladun Ives, I hope I pronounced this right. Hello, I love your explanation. It really goes a long way. Question number one: what if husband and wife are employed at the same time from different organizations, working working? Can they invite their children individually or at once? Question number two, I would also like to ask, after inviting your dependent, can you also invite your parents for holidays? Thank you once again for the question, um, Mr. Alves. So, your question number one, congratulations for, it's a really good thing that you both had your jobs from back home, coming to Japan. It's a very good one. Yeah, if you can do that, that goes a long way. So yeah, that's a very good one. So as to your question, if you can bring your dependents individually, or if you had to apply, like yourself and your husband, yourself and your wife have to apply together. No, you do not. One person can apply the the dependent children. So for example, you as the man can decide to go apply for your children to come join you, because basically your wife is already here, right? So it's just you applying. If you won't be the one applying, then your wife would apply. Yeah, so basically you just have to discuss between yourself who's going to apply. Is it yourself or your wife? So, and then he or she can then go ahead and apply for your dependent children to come join you. And yeah, that's basically it. And to the question of if you're able to like invite your parents over to visit, yes, the reason why I said visit, because they can't come to stay here long term. They can only come to visit, and you can invite them through the visit route or the tourism route. Okay, so basically the answer is yes, they can come visit. I have a friend that also brought her parents over to come visit. So yes, of course you can. So thank you once again. I hope that answers the question. This one says, hi sis, I've been following your page for a while now and I really admire your journey. I'm currently applying for an ALT role in Japan from Abuja through an agent, and I really appreciate the chance to ask you a few questions about your experience if you don't mind. I'd love to chat with you via DM whenever you're free. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I did not use an agent to move to Japan. So for me, honestly, I wouldn't advise you to use an agent, because it's really straightforward. It's really easy to move to Japan. It's just a lot hard, but it depends on some individuals. It might really be very easy for some people, it might be very difficult for others, but basically I know that when you put your mind to something, yeah, and you don't give up, you would definitely achieve it by the grace of God. Definitely, I always involve God in everything that I do. I always involve God. So if you have the means to like get a good agent, I'm not saying that is wrong. You can go ahead. Basically, maybe you do not have the time to like apply. Well, then you can if you have the phone. But I feel like, I mean, it's not difficult. It's not difficult. Everything is online. You just have to just go to Gaijin Port or go directly to the employer's email or website and apply to the jobs with your CV, with your cover letter. and sometimes they would ask you some questions on the website which you are expected to fill. That's basically it. It's not difficult. And then go for the interviews. That's basically it. But like I said, if you have the means, I'm not gonna stop you. And I really hope that everything turns out well and you get that's which you really long for coming to Japan. Okay, thank you so much once again, and all the very best. And we have another question from I think Mr. Olufemi, if I'm correct. My wife is interested in coming to Japan to teach. She has over 25 years of teaching experience. Could you be of help in securing a job if she sends her CV? Thank you once again, Mr. Olufemi. Thank you. 25 years of experience, it's a lot, and I think she's going to be an amazing teacher over here in Japan. But unfortunately, I'm not a recruiter. I can't help with getting a job for her if I can. I mean, I would have brought my siblings over here already. I mean, that's just on a lighter note, okay? Um, Honestly, I know a lot of people want to move to different countries, and I really want to say this here. It's not just Japan that's looking for English teachers. We have so many other countries. So please, if you're eligible to apply to other countries like the New Zealand, Canada, the US, through the J1 visa, the UK, they're looking for science-based math teachers. Please go ahead. I feel like those ones, for me, basically, I feel like Japan is like just a stepping stone to move to other parts of the country. That's if you want to. If you do not want to, I mean, Japan is a beautiful country. You can absolutely stay here. But if you want to like get a more, I don't know how to put it, but I feel like there are so many other opportunities in so many other countries. But if you want this country to be like a stepping stone for you, please go ahead. Do not allow anything to stop you from getting to your dreams or getting to your goals. Okay, please go ahead, apply. I have a video on my channel where I did like a detailed video of how you to apply to all this job. I did like a screenshot video of me applying to a job and how like everything. It was very detailed. I mean, I have like a 1,000 or 2,000, if I'm not mistaken, views of that video. That's to show you how helpful the video is. It gives you like a guide on how to like start applying. Okay, please do your diligence, please. Thank you so much. So Justice says, hi, when you apply for COE for your family, did you translate any of your documents into Japanese before submission? Thank you so much once again. That's a very good question, Mr. Justice. Honestly, for me, I didn't have to like translate for the COE part, like application. I didn't have to translate, yeah, um translate any document. It But I feel like if your document is in another language other than English or Japanese, please translate it to either English or Japanese. That's basically it, yeah? If it's in another language, if it's not in English or Japanese, please translate it to Japanese. The only the only point I had to make translation of was when I was doing my daughter's application at the city hall, for her to start a nursery. I'm going to do another video of me sharing how we're able to enroll my daughter in the nursery here in Japan. Okay, I believe that's gonna be like a great video for so many people who are bringing their family to join them here in Japan. Although it's not going to be the same, it's not going to be applicable to all the prefectures in Japan, but there will be some similarities to it. Okay, please, I need a site where I can apply for teaching jobs in Japan. Okay, I already mentioned that. I mentioned Gaijin Port. They have so many other sites too, but for me, I actually applied through Guide Import. And also, you can also you can go to the website of Interact, Altia, Jet. Also, if you are in South Africa and some other parts of the country, Nigeria is not inclusive. um and so many other Heart Corporation and so many other companies, you can actually go to their websites there and also apply to them directly. Okay. Can my children go to school in Japan free if I'm an overseas English teacher? So it depends on what school you intend to put your child in. And I do not know the age range of your child, but basically for the government school, thus far from what I've heard living here in Japan, it's actually free. But the uniforms, the textbooks and everything, every other thing, you'd have to pay for them. The lunch fee, you'd have to pay for it, but it's not so expensive. Yeah. My daughter also attends a nursery school here. I don't pay a fee. Yeah. But I was told to like include my bank for lunch. But the thing is that from the time she had started up to date, I haven't seen any deduction of the money for lunch fee. So absolutely, I think that it's free. I don't know if I'm going to get a bill later on. I don't know if it's like maybe yearly progress or something like that. I'm not sure, but from the time she had started up till date, I haven't received any bill. Okay, so and I have friends who their children are in elementary school and they don't pay school fees. They only have to pay for like field trip fees, uniforms are really expensive. They're wearing uniforms, their uniforms are really expensive. So yeah, those are the things that are like bags, that the school accessories that you need them to like start going to school with. So those are the things that you need to like get by yourself. But the fees itself, the school fees itself, no, you do not. It's absolutely free. Thank you. Do I need the original or photocopies of those documents? What documents are those? Let me see the reply. Please come with the original document. We won't be submitting the original document, but they might request to see it. Okay, so that answers the question. Including marriage certificate, what would the spouse apply with back in Nigeria? Will he, that's embassy, take the photocopy? Kindly confirm, please. Please go for the dependent who is back home. Um, some you I think one of the documents my husband submitted was also, yeah, they have to submit marriage certificate. Yes, you have to submit marriage certificate to show that you are the dependent of the person whom you're going to go visit. Yeah, but it's going to be the photocopy, not original, and they're going to take it from you. Okay. What's the age limit of children who can join you in Japan? Honestly, I absolutely do not know the age limits. I don't know the age limits. I don't know what I replied her. Let me see. Hello, ma. Thank you for watching and leaving me a comment. To be honest, I'm not certain, but from what I can see from the internet, it says 20 years as long as as long as you can prove that they are financially dependent on you as the main applicant. So from what I researched and got to know from the internet, you have like you from 0 to 20 years. Yeah, as long as they are financially dependent on you. Thank you, my sister. That's from is Judith. This is what I have been looking for. How's the cost of rent for the family of three? Is it two bedrooms or one room self-contained? And how much does it cost? Kindly reply. Okay, so like now answering the question right now, because I have moved from the self-contained to now a one room, one bedroom apartment. So if I'm to answer the question, if you're moving to Japan, if it's like a company's apartment, like I said in the reply, The rural parts are much more cheaper, but if you're coming to the cities like Tokyo, Nagoya, Kyoto city, and the rest of the Osaka city, they will be a bit much more expensive. Okay. um but if it's like a unfurnished apartment, they are much less expensive. Like this one bedroom apartment that I live in right now, I currently pay 51,500 yen thereabouts, if I'm not mistaken. So let's just say 52,000 yen per month. But the bulky part of the payment is when you want to pay like the initial deposit. That's where like the huge bulk of the money is. Like you had to pay a lot of money. Yeah. So some people tend to like pay the initial fee, like ranging from like 300,000 to 100 and something thousand, around that range. Yeah. But for me personally, I think we paid like 250 something thousand yen for the initial deposit. And they're going to explain everything to you during the contract signing and everything. Yeah. So basically that's it about that. Also, I had a question on, I think that will be the last question for today. I had a question from the post I made about me doing a sit down video, and someone had asked me. So the person says, yeah, Judy Amaka. So the person says it's about my ALT application to Interact. They replied me that they don't have the license to recruit people that resides in Korea. Now, answering the question, first off, I'd like to know, do you live in Korea as a resident, or you are a Korean, like you speak Korean, like you are a citizen of Korea, or another question that I wanted to ask, I'm trying to like remember now. The reason why I'm saying this is because from what I heard, from what my little bit of research, I got to know that employers tend to like are only eligible to like employ people from an English speaking country, of which Nigeria is an English speaking country. So if Korea is not an English speaking country, they will not be able to like recruit people from Korea. And from my little knowledge, I do not think Korea is an English speaking country. They speak Korean, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So because of that, they do not have the means to like employ people from that country, like for you to come teach English, because they feel or they believe that English is not the official language, is not the language of the Koreans. Okay, I hope that answered the question. But if you are not a Korean, because from Judy Amaka, it feels like a Nigerian, like from the Igbo part, yeah. So if that's the case, maybe you could explain to them that you are a Nigerian, you are from that English speaking country, you're basically just residing there. Maybe you went there to school or you went there to visit. That will give them a better explanation. Hopefully they're able to like find a way around it for you. Okay, I hope this answers the question. Thank you so much for joining me to film. I wanted to say to film this video. Thank you so much for listening to me, answering your questions. Thank you so much for all of the love, the support. Thank you so much. Please do me well to subscribe, like, comment, share to as many as possible. I believe this is going to be of great help to so many people out there. Okay, thank you once again. I'm going to stop here today, and hopefully I get to feel more content for you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Mwah.